Fine.
Good. Thank you so much. So as I introduced myself, I'm the General Manager of Mauritius Standards Bureau. So we'll give a presentation about the Blue Oasis, that is the certification and benefits of sustainable tourism in Mauritius to start with. It's okay? It's okay? Okay? No.
Good.
Okay.
Fantastic.
No.
You can proceed, Mrs. Boyga. It's okay. We are hearing you.
I think we have a small problem, technical problem. Can you just... No. Okay, that's perfect. Well, let me introduce the Mauritius Standards Bureau. The Mauritius Standards Bureau is a corporate body which has been set up under the Mauritius Standards Bureau Act of 1993. And it operates under the aegis of the Ministry of Industry, Development, SMEs, and Cooperative. And the Mauritius Standards Bureau is mandated to develop standards and provide conformity assessment services such as testing, calibration, and certification of products and management system. Well, the Mauritius Standards Bureau operates a certification marking scheme for products and a national management system certification scheme, such as the ISO 9001, which refers to the quality management system, the ISO 14001, which refers to the environment management system, the ISO IEC 27001, which refers to the information security management services, the ISO 20000 and the AHACCP, which refers to food safety systems. And we have the MORIGAP, which refers to the good practice, agricultural practice. And now we have the MS-165, which we are going to discuss, which refers to sustainable tourism, that is the Blue Oasis. Well, when we say standards, we are of Bureau of Standards and Office of Standards. Well, we have a certification programs that requires defined criteria in order to ensure a consistent conformity assessment process. Thus, a standard is pivotal in the implementation of certification, as you can see. Standard provides a basic for mutual understanding among shareholders, and it enables companies to comply with the relevant laws and regulation. And with these standards, an organization and an industry can speak a common language, which helps in lifting trade barriers. It should be also noted that standards are often referred in technical regulation, and thus implementation of standards help in the compliance of regulation. And effective implementation of standards can help organizations in adopting a systematic approach in delivery services. At the same time, they can review the performance and take decisions on how to achieve set of objectives in most efficient and effective way. In short, organizations can become more resilient and thus contributing to the business sustainability. Now, what is sustainable tourism? As defined by the United Nations World Tourism Organization, tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic, social, and environmental impact, addressing the needs of visitors, the industry, the environment, and host communities. Well, sustainable tourism is not just a rising travel trend. However, it has become a priority, if not a moral imperative for tourist businesses around the world. Since travelers and travel providers are looking very sure for sustainability practices in the tourism sector. In this vein, our bureau, the Mauritius Standards Bureau, has introduced the Blue Oasis certification to help tourist organizations in satisfying this increased demand for sustainable tourism products, such as hotel accommodation and travel packages. Certification to sustainable tourism. Well, the Mauritius Standards Bureau provide a third-party certification to hotels and accommodation and to operators. Well, third-party certification means that the tourism organization are assessed and certified by an independent party like the Mauritius Standard Bureau. Upon certification to the MS-165, organization will authorize to use the logo, the two logos that are visible on the screen, will be authorized to use the two logos. And it should be noted that the Blue Oasis logo, as you can see on the left side of the screen, is the outcome of a consensus achieved through a survey among various stakeholders in the tourism sector in Mauritius. And the sustainable tourism, the rectangular logo, which is on the right side of the presentation, represents a certified, registered firm under our National Management System Certification Scheme, while the Blue Oasis has been developed as a mark closer to the hospitality industry. Avez trouvé? Quel est le problème? J'aimerais que vous terminiez. Hein? Et comment ça?
This looks great now. Now it's a full screen. Thanks.
Are you okay? Okay, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Can you hear me, please? Is it okay?
Yes, we can hear you, Mrs. Borgai.
I'm very sorry. I think that we have some problem with the slide projection. Is it fine now? Can I continue, please?
Yes, it's perfect now. You can continue. Yeah.
No. Very sorry for the inconvenience. As I said, the National Sustainable Tourism Management System Certification Scheme is a project that the Mauritius Standard Bureau has come forward with in order to help the Mauritian organization in the tourism sector to gear towards long-term sustainability. Moreover, the Mauritius Standards Bureau has joined its effort with the Tourism Authority and the SME Mauritius in setting up the SME certification scheme, whereas the SMEs in the tourism sector will be exempted from the cost of initial certification, which is a very good initiative from the Tourism Authority, the Mauritius Standards Bureau, and the SME Mauritius. Upon the certification of hotels and accommodation and tour operators to MS-165 standards, will give the assurance that the tourism activities are being carried out in line with the sustainability principle with due consideration to environmental, socio-cultural, and economic aspects. Now, for the international recognition, well, the Mauritius standard, the MS-165, is a Mauritian standard that has been developed by the Mauritian Standards Bureau and recognized by the Global Sustainable Tourism Council, that is the GSTC, which is, in other words, the standard of international recognition for being in line with the international criteria of sustainable tourism. As I said, the Global Sustainable Tourism Council, the GSTC, is an independent and neutral organization legally registered in the USA as a non-profit organization that represents a diverse and global membership, including national and provincial governments, leading travel agencies, hotels, tour operators, NGOs, individuals, and communities. All of them are striving together to achieve the best practice in sustainable tourism. Well, it is not, they don't have a main office. Its staff is the regional directors, the board members, working groups, and community members and volunteers work from all various locations around the world. Well, in addition, the Mauritius Standards Bureau, in the process of getting accredited by the GSTC for its sustainable tourism accreditation scheme, we are in process. In achieving its accreditation, the Mauritius Standards Bureau will be the 5th organizations accredited by the GSTC around the world to provide certification for sustainable tourism. The 4 other certification bodies are Bureau Veritas, Contrôle l'Union, United Certification Scheme Limited, and Virero. Now let's see this certification to sustainable tourism. We go to the overview, sorry. We go to the overview of the MS-165 Sustainable Tourism Requirements. Well, the standards specify the requirement for a management system for sustainable tourism that can be used by any tourist businesses or any tourist related activity to enhance its sustainability performance. There are some requirements, and these requirements can be applied by organizations of any size, ranging from micro business organization to a big business organization. However, the sustainability principle remain the same. Well, the MS-165 guides an organization to focus on the 3 dimensions as mentioned: the social, cultural, economical, and environmental, to achieve sustainability while delivering their product and services. Regarding sustainability issues, the requirement of MS-165 are mapped on the GSTC industry criteria of hotels and accommodation and tour operators in addressing, as I said, the 4 pillars already mentioned, is social and economic, cultural, and environmental issues. And now I'm going to define one by one. That will help us to go through the presentation. The first one, as we said, is social and economic benefits to the community. Well, when we talk about community development, the first criteria is a community development. For example, we have the organization, local organization has to collaborate with NGOs, the CSR program, and the local developments. When it concerns employment, the organization, I mean by the hotel and tour operators, they have to favor local employment as far as possible in the vicinity where they are situated. And for fair trade, the organization shall give equal opportunity to small enterprise as well as large companies when procuring products and services. Local entrepreneur and local communities. Tourism development is conducted by involving local entrepreneurs such as local artists and local entrepreneurs. Human rights. Employees are provided with good working conditions such as sanitary facilities, hygienic and clean infrastructure. Regarding equal opportunity, equal employment opportunity as well as promotion shall be given to both men and women and even disabled persons. Employee protection. In Mauritius, we have the labor law and we have the labor rights, which have to be followed and implemented. And we have the basic services. The basic services comprises of the tourism activities that shall not be jeopardized. Provision of basic services such as food, energy, healthcare, sanitation services to the local community. And the last one is access. The activities of the organization, the hotels or the tour operators shall not affect any local livelihood, that is road access or to access to public beach. We come to the cultural heritage. In cultural heritage, which has to be preserved, we have cultural interaction, historical artifacts, protection of sites, incorporation of culture, and the visit to natural sites. To ensure good practice and guidance for tourist visit to cultural and historical sites, there are some guidelines that has to be followed to minimize adverse impacts and minimize local benefits. Certified organizations contribute to protect, preserve, and enhance cultural and historical sites. Traditional cultures are incorporated in the incorporation of the organization, such as we have the Mauritian cuisines and the Mauritian folklore, like the Mauritian Sega and all. Now, regarding the environmental aspects, as you can see, we have it's defined. It's into 2 dimensions: conserving resources and reducing pollution. And we have also, 1 minute, please. Yes. Regarding the purchasing policy, we have the environmental suitable products, such as we have to use the biodegradable soaps like recycled products, and suppliers are favored that is established on a sustainable procurement policy and setting and implementing procurement guidelines. We have the consumable goods. Consumable goods, these are efficiently managed and disposed to minimize waste. For example, smart purchasing with local suppliers. We have the energy consumption. It is used and monitored to minimize energy consumption. For example, renewable energy is favored. We have water consumption. It is measured and monitored to minimize water consumption. For example, the use of low flow shower head, and to ensure that no water leakage and wastage are being done. We have the carbon footprint. Greenhouse gas emission are identified, calculated, and controlled to minimize its emission. For example, to reduce the air conditioning system, we are using also the use of electric vehicles, and some of the big hotels are even using some tourist boat with solar panels. We have the wastewater management, where the wastewater manager is treated, the wastewater is treated, reused, and or is released safely without adverse effect, like for irrigation purposes. And we have the solid waste management, and this is to ensure that there is a mechanism to reduce waste in organizations, such as the menu proposal in the restaurants are not written on paper, and they are eventually we have to throw away the paper later. The menu are being shown or displayed on TV, on a tab, or on a iPad or tablet screen. We have also the hazardous waste, that is their use or minimized and replaced by eco-friendly materials. Now we come to the conserving biodiversity, ecosystem, and landscaping. Under this we have the animal welfare. Under animal welfare, the organization, even the tour operators or the hotels, has to ensure that proper housing, handling, and caring of animals are being implemented. We have the wildlife in captivity. In the wildlife in captivity, that we have to make sure that no species is being held in captivity except by authorized and suitable equipped person as per the law. For example, in Mauritius, we work in collaboration with the Mauritius Wildlife Foundation. Landscaping, we have the natural landscaping of the environment that has to be maintained as far as possible. And for biodiversity conservation, we should have to make sure that no disturbance to natural ecosystem is being minimized. And regarding interaction with wildlife has to be minimized to avoid adverse effect on the animal. For example, we have in Mauritius, we have the swimming with the dolphin. You can swim with the dolphin, but you can't even touch the dolphin. And we have the building and infrastructure. We have the local zoning. I'm going to go very fast because I've said that the time is already out. We are out of time. So we have the local zoning. The building infrastructure for tourism activities shall comply with the building codes of practice, regulation and legislation, including those related to environment and heritage protected areas. We have the planning, design, and siting, means the planning, design, and siting of the building and infrastructure of tourism operation shall be respect all the natural and cultural heritage surrounding. And we have the sustainable construction, means that the construction and demolition of any buildings or infrastructure shall respect natural and cultural surrounding. I'll go very fast through the benefits. The benefits of the of being certified sustainable tourism. Well, as it has been mentioned, the MS 165 is already a recognized standard by the GSTC, and thus the standard has gained international recognition. It is noted that in the tourism sector, more and more luxury travelers as well as regular travelers are looking for sustainable tourism products and program. Thus, this certification of MS 165 allows the travel business to demonstrate to relevant stakeholders that its business is operating with good practices, taking into consideration the future as well as the present needs. In short, the tourism business can be better integrated and benefit its supply chain by being labeled as Blue Oasis. Well, and gaining competitive edge, that's for sure, because being certified for sustainability practices can be used as a marketing tool for targeting a niche market. This is the main one. Moreover, online booking engine like booking.com and Agoda are providing preferential search index for tourism businesses, providing sustainable practices. Ultimately, a traveler looking for, who are opting for sustainable practices are more likely to switch or to choose a certified tourist business that is certified by MSB with Blue Oasis. And being certified ensure that an organization is aware of its risk and applicable statutory and regulation requirements. These are the benefits. You can go through this. I'll go through it very, very quickly. It's gaining international recognition, as we discussed earlier, gaining competitive advantage, meeting emerging customer trend, managing risk and meeting legislative requirements, protecting the tourist product, local products, especially local products. We have to, and it also minimizes the negative socio-cultural impacts and minimizing the negative environment impact. And how do we go for the certification? These are the few steps. I have only 2 slides. We'll go very one. This is the last slide, in fact. We have to establish the sustainability policy, strategies and objective. Any organization who wants to be MS 165 certified, that is the Blue Oasis, they have to compile all the documented information necessary to support the sustainable management system that they want to put in place in their organization. They have to implement the system, and then they have to apply for the certification. While applying for the certification, we have 2 audit stages. The first audit stage is the desk audit. And at the desk audit, we review, it's a review of documented information to ensure that all the requirements of the MS 165 has been addressed and evaluated to the stage of readiness, and is at the stage of readiness to stage 2 audit. And the stage 2 audit is an on-site assessment process to evaluate the implementation, including effectiveness of the operator's system against the requirement of MS 165. Well, after that, if there is any NC that is non-conformity, then they have to amend it and look for solution. And after that, they will be given a certification, which will be a certification that will be valid for 3 years. For 3 years. However, a yearly audit are conducted to ensure that the sustainability management system is maintained and improved. And during the 3rd year of the certification cycle, a re-certification audit is being done prior to renewal of another 3-year certification. That is if the organization wants to go for the Blue Oasis level and use Blue Oasis level and the MS-165. And well, this is my presentation. I know I have been rushing and going very fast because it's not easy to understand the MS-165 in one go, but I tried to make it in 15 minutes. I just hope it has been fruitful to you. If there's any queries, you'll find below, we have the website of the Malicious Standards Bureau, where you'll have under the heading of certification scheme, you'll get the MS-165, that is the Blue Oasis, and how we can proceed for the certification process. Thank you so much. And if there's any question, we are ready to answer the question.
Great.
Thank you very much.
A lot of information inside of that one. Thank you very much. Any question at this moment that you are having, then we can address directly to Ms. Bourgueil. Luis, if there is not, I think then we dive into that connection here between MS-165 and Blue Oasis, and that. Well, there is one question coming up concerning the Blue Oasis certification. Please advise on the applicable fees, if any. Thanks. Can you say something about the fees, Ms. Bourgueil?
I'm sorry, I think we lost connection. Can you just repeat the question, please?
There is one question about the certification, the applicable fees, the certification fees, about that system. Can you say something about the certification fees?
In fact, we have to go through the regulation. In fact, we have already decided for the SMEs, the regulation, the fees has been approved by the Standard Council. This is for the locals. And this is concerned only SMEs, small and medium enterprise. And regarding other big organization, 200, it's 200 USD per mandate. And for the organization to use the logo of the GSTC, they have to pay a yearly fee of 100 USD yearly. And the certificate is $400 for the 3 years certification.
Okay, thanks so much for that.
It's not that expensive at all for a certification of sustainable tourism. Yeah.
Good. Thanks so much.
Any question? Any more question? I know it has been. We had to go very fast through it, and it's a bit complicated. We are going to share even the slides, and you can go through the website. If there is any other question, we are available for any query.
Perfect. Thanks so much. That was the sense of that presentation, to get an overview and be in touch with you directly then if there is any interest.
Thank you so much. Yeah.